Today I'll be breaking down how ax1le became the #1 rifler in the world in 2022 and how he constantly finds the edge against the best players in the world. In this first clip we see ax1le going for a standard utility combo down middle, where he molotov Mexico and flashes to peek. And after spotting Elise exit in Mexico, he quickly goes for the kill and falls back safely. And from Elise PV, this ends up catching him completely off guard, as he was not expecting ax1le to be swinging this wide for the kill. And at first glance it also seems very counterintuitive for ax1le to be swinging this wide on Elise, as he ends up completely exposing himself to ramp. However, in this situation it actually makes a lot of sense, as on a typical T gun round, it is not very common to have two people holding middle. And as soon as ax1le sees Elise exit in Mexico, he immediately understands that ramp is not a threat, which allows him to go for the kill. Shortly after, ax1le re-peeks mid for a flash. However, this time he decides against swinging wide, as he will likely get traded by Nitro, who was close second middle. Which perfectly illustrates how good ax1le is at understanding when to go for a kill, and when going for a kill is simply not worth the risk. Later on, ax1le clears brackets with a flash from Inters. And with this info, C9 goes for a 3-man B stack, as it is very common for the Ts to execute B late round whenever the CTs have no utility. As a result, only Inters and ax1le are left to defend A, a site that normally requires 3 people to hold, as the Ts are able to wrap from both long, short and ups. This is why they decide to go for a double side setup, as it would allow them to both play together, while at the same time being able to hold all 3 choke points. And this ends up working out really well, as they go 3 for 2, leaving their teammates in a very comfortable 3 vs 1 retake situation. What I want to highlight here is how well ax1le plays off of his teammates, and his understanding of the situation. On the first duel, Inter simply shows his shoulder, which allows ax1le to get a free kill on Nitro. After the first kill, ax1le trusts Inters to hold his short while he watches them motor smoke, as that would be the timing of a potential long lurker to lurk out, which is exactly what happens as he takes down Nikinder. However, as ax1le was focused on the long lurk, Inters eventually goes down while trying to hold short, leaving ax1le in a very tough 1 vs 2 situation on site, where he eventually gets traded by Uzi. Normally it would not make sense for ax1le to be disengaging with Nef initially, as Team Liquid could simply coordinate a double peek, not giving ax1le a chance. However, with there only being 9 seconds left on the clock, and simply not enough time to coordinate a double peek, while also getting the bomb down, ax1le decides to take a step back, fully understanding that Nef needs to wide swing. Besides being very good at playing off of his teammates, something ax1le really excels at is being able to make good decisions in pressured moments. And for this I've chosen this round against ax1le that illustrates this perfectly. Here we see ax1le go for a B rush, as they are unlikely to win by defaulting due to a lack of nades. And ax1le, fully understanding that this might not be a default, decides to molotov in the middle of the stairs and hold for the run boost. And as he hears 2 ax1le players rushing up the stairs, he quickly drops an AJ in his molo and decides to peek early, which results in 2 kills. The main reason why this play works so well is because Vertigo is a map where the CTs will always have a lot of early round sound cues, indicating a potential rush. And if the Ts were to run B specifically, it can be especially tough, as they end up being in the open for quite a while also being exposed to several angles. This is why ax1le decides to play white box early, as it allows him to hold for the run boost, while also at the same time being able to catch anyone trying to run up the stairs fast. Another reason why this play works so well is because the molotov ax1le throws on the stairs is actually designed in such a way where if the Ts were to extinguish it, they have to run through a smoke for half a second, allowing ax1le to kill anyone running through it comfortably. This however does not play into effect this round, as Flamey fails to extinguish the molotov. But had he actually hit the smoke, the outcome would have most likely been the same. In this last clip I have picked out an eco round, as I think it perfectly demonstrates what ax1le masters to perfection, the small details. This round ax1le buys just a Tech 9, which might not seem like a big deal. However, what most fails to consider is the reason for ecoing, which is to have the best chance of winning the following round. Here many ends up buying way too much, and ends up sacrificing utility in the following round, which can be the difference maker, especially in a close game. And as a full buy for the T side with double flash is $4,800, while his loss bonus is $2,900 this round, it makes perfect sense to buy a Tech 9, as it leaves him with just enough money in the following round to get everything he needs. And this Tech 9 purchase ends up working out really well, as he ends up taking down 2 players with him, due to good understanding of where the next duel is and good movement. Which actually ends up working out really well for C9, as it forces Navi to eco in round 14. But let me know in the comments who you thought were the best rifler in 2022, and if you liked the video, consider liking and subscribing for more CSGO analysis content.